bag, the patterns are swell.
Hello you sexy Aussies, my name is Olga G. Pataki and today I am going to Hungry Jack's. Now Hungry Jack's is Australia's version of the ever-popular Burger King fast food chain, and DW Forever 91 thought it would be the perfect topic to feature yours truly in my first ever solo rate journey, as part of my swell vacation in the land down under, and to celebrate Australia Day in the process. Now DW Forever 91 is not an Aussie, but considering that a few YouTubers already made Australia Day related Speakonia videos, or at least uploaded Aussie related videos to represent Australia Day, he thought he'd make his own little contribution from the good old USA. Plus it's been a while since he made a Betty Bunch Goes To video in a long in the context of a strap-on dildo. Long time, so he figured it was long again as in my strap-on, overdue.
Everybody got that?
Well, enough breaking the fourth wall, let's get this aforementioned rate journey started already, for Jehovah's sake. When I get to Hungry Jack's there will be the mandatory long line of the usual fast food clientele, including your typical white trash de factos from the Aussie Housing Commission, better known as houses, Valley Girl teens with their cell phones and assortment of sexy hench ladies ready to flaunt their status to shame their lower class school chums or catch the attention of a hot teen throbberg boy. Big black petrol sniffing abos who have the munchies and are here to stuff their faces with high cholesterol before they head down to Centrelink to claim the dole. Curry munching head Indians and burka tryhards who wish that this was a proper Burger King so they can brag about how America is the greatest country in the world. Liberal protesters armed with picket signs working to shut down Hungry Jack's to convince themselves and everybody that eating meat is bad. More dole-bludging white trash straight from the block. More curry munching bindies. Even more of those burka tryhards. More drop-dead sexy Valley girls and their equally luscious hench ladies. And more liberals just waiting for the next strike. And without further ado I begin to have my swell way with all the lovely Sheilas and beat any bloke strongo enough to try and get some from an obvious vagina Nazi like myself to a bloody pulp, and it all sounds like oh, how do you like my new outfit? I got it fresh from the set of the Hey Arnold Jungle movie. I thought it would make the perfect attire for my swell vacation. By the way, I am a podophiliac, so let me taste your smooth-looking sun-baked picklets. In case you're wondering, picklets are what they call those mini pancakes at Hungry Jack's. Hey, it's no weirder than calling their grilled cheese sandwiches cheese toasties. Now to release the Kraken bag. That was swell. I will then walk into Hungry Jack's and the sexy Sheila at the front desk will say, "Hey and welcome to Hungry Jack's. Can I take your order?" And I will say, "Why yes you can, my swell Aussie. I would like about a dozen veggie whoppers made with lady pubic hairs and vaginal juice based condiments. Chips deep fried in piss and titty milk." Said piss and titty milk must be from a woman, obviously. And while you're at it, throw in some kettle cheese toasties and picklets with vaginal maple syrup, some camel toe hash browns, and about a dozen or so beverages made from, of course, vaginal juices and toe jam and titty milkshakes. She will get disgusted and say, "Bloody hell, I don't care what kind of bullshit shenanigans you Yanks get up to in your own country, but you can't just come in here and tell porkies and expect us to take it seriously. Now make a real order or bugger the fuck off." I was hoping you would deny me the customer service. That whole easy compliance bullshit was seriously getting fucking old. DW Forever 91 likes unexpected twists in his goes to videos, but nothing beats getting back to basics. Squeezing your butt cheeks like honk 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 honk. Let me steam those hams with a soul scrub like millimeters. Steamed hams and yes YouTubers, DW Forever 91 did see that Australian dub of steamed hams made by ScarnonCunce, by the way. And now that I've shaved another thick layer off the fourth wall, it's time to release the Kraken again. Bag. That was swell. After baptizing this ignorant cunt with my love juices, thus making her a dinky Aussie dyke, she will head into the kitchen to prepare my swell order. While I wait for said order, I will go over to the tables and start masturbating to a steamy sexual fantasy of Red Sonja from, well, Red Sonja making out passionately with Xena the warrior princess, and such a mental image will bombard yet another massive chunk off the fourth wall, and I start to finger my wet blanket, which sounds something like a oh yes, those two barbarian babes can ravage my cabbage any day. Throw she Shira in there as well. Strong female role models make me horny. Narcs the thick and cold warrior is my favorite person on TV. Yeah, I just had to make another Nicktoons reference, being a Nicktoon myself. And then a bunch of waitresses will start placing my swell order at the vacant tables, and once they're finished I give them extra special tip like bag. That was swell. And now that I have my delicious muff meal ready and assembled,
there's one more thing I need to do to put that award-winning Olga Pataki smile back on my face.
And that is to invite all of my favorite BFFs in the Betty Bunch that I had on standby this whole time, including my Australian counterpart Not from Gloria's house and her joined to the vagina girlfriend Jazz Mitchell, along with her personal love child Flick from Wackaville, Marcia the Marsupial Mouse from The Adventures of Blinky Bill, our latest recruit from the Canadian branch Birch Small from My Life Me, along with the branches to head inventor Susan and Mary Test from Johnny Test, and from our bisexual division Academy Alpha we have our favorite desk-wielding gun jumper Shinobu K from Yurusa Sierra, that hot blonde feline Cleo from Heathcliff and the Cadillac Cats, Mega Leg Griffin from Family Guy, and last but not least is my personal love child Lilac Sawyer from my very own TV show Hey Arnold. And so we all sit down to the tables and start eating like nom 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 nom, and after such a swell muff/foot-tastic repast we all get super horny and engage in a mega muff/stomp clit and toe orgy, and it all sounds like hip 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 hip. Lilac is licking off my hairy minch while I suck on her tender toes. Hip 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 hip. The Not is smothering Jazz's face while Birch fingers her nether regions. Hip 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 hip. Susan and Mary Test are using Flick as a guinea pig for a new sexual experiment. Marcia and Cleo are bringing the term a game of cat and mouse to a whole new level. Shinobu is massaging Meg's feet as she slides her slender pork buns across her wet blanket. But before Lilith or Jehovah can grant us that sweet release, the manager will storm out of her office and shout, "What the bloody hell is going on here?" And I will say, "Hello, my name is Olga G. String Pataki, and me and my pussy/pedal pedals from the Betty Bunch and Academy Alpha were just turning hungry jacks into hungry cracks." And when I say cracks I mean as in our slender love holes, obviously. She will call us sick fucks and say, "Get the hell out of here or I'm calling the cops." Finally a female manager. The DW Forever 91 sure knows how to do it right in a Betty Bunch goes to video. I wish my soul sis Helga and my mandible mama Miriam was here. Although I wouldn't let my father Big Bob Pataki get involved, I'd at least let him watch from a distance. Cause even if he's an erg man, family always comes first. He could have his way with Mom and Helga along with Shinobu and the other bisexual members afterwards. Now for the long-awaited happy ending. Bag, that was well. Oh yes, this all sounds so muff-munching, tuner-tugging, beaver-bumping, clit-sliding. Put the pedal to my poo-poo pussy. This video will make you crave a tuna salad in half the fraction of a nanosecond. Mega muff swell in the woman hole. I think I'll go to Hungry Jack's and do all of this right now. Later all you swell muff-munching dykes. Bye-bye.
The end!